Alright, we're back. Ace Attorney. Alright. Let's see. 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 807. Yeah, sounds about right. Alright, we'll continue. Alright. Last where we left off. Found a dead dude in my office. And here we are. Investigating. But in all seriousness, the last where we left off, we were shown a cutscene of basically a prosecutor and his partner, or supposed partner, in my office. They were fighting over something. Prosecutor had a gun, the detective's gun, shot him, cuts away. I walk in, body's there. Stranger comes up right behind me, assumingly the prosecutor that was holding the gun up to me, but we don't know for sure. And then next we know, you start investigating. The same prosecutor we see in that cutscene comes in, accuses our poor Gumshoe, and then starts assuming that Bird actually did it because apparently she has the master key to all the doors here. But anyways. What is with that prosecutor? I can't believe how rude he was. It was unbelievable. Please maintain your professionalism, detective. I'm gonna find some real solid evidence proving Maggie's innocence. You'll see, sir. But we've been kicked out of the crime scene, sir. True. So then what now? Looks like my life's fallen into yet another gigantic ditch. Do not despair, Miss Bird. We can overcome this as well. There are many other places and things we should be looking into anyway. Eh? Really, sir? For example, this hallway. The linchpin of his argument against Miss Bird is related to the master key. In that case, this hallway is the perfect place to look for more information regarding the mystery surrounding my door. Alright. Okay, start looking around. Why is there a... Okay. What is a basketball doing here? That's Mr. Portsman's prized possession, sir. I heard he also plays soccer, dodgeball, and even tennis. And not a single one of those sports is suitable to be played in a hallway. That's interesting. Oh, it's this guy. It looks like you're in quite the pinch, Mr. Edgeworth. To be sure, murder within the walls of the prosecutor's office is no trifling matter. We must find, apprehend, and punish the killer accordingly, post-haste. Sounds like a messy case you've got on your hands. If you ever feel lost or need some advice, my door is always open. How gracious. I will keep your offer in mind. Who is this guy again? Okay. Damn, alright. Just completely forgot about him. Alright. Is everything alright? Yes, sir. If you must know, I weighed myself this morning and I'm finally 154 pounds. Congratulations, but I was asking about this hallway in this room. Oh, everything's okay, sir. A word of advice, stay focused or you may start to lose even more weight. Okay. What is a basketball hoop doing here? Hey, did this used to be just outside next to the building a long time ago? So when and why was it moved indoors? I don't remember exactly, but I saw one of the officers drag it up here recently. Drag it? I heard that it wouldn't fit in the elevator, so the poor guy had to bring it himself. All the way up to the 12th floor? What the fuck kind of... Okay. This office. 1203, 1203. Hey, Maggie, whose room is this again? It's Mr. Portman, sir. So he's my new neighbor, I see. I suppose he moved in while I was away overseas. Let's run. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious looking nook and cranny. Oh, what do you know?
Isn't that the missing O series file, sir?
No doubt about it, the bloody letters mark it clear as day. There seem to be a few pages missing. Our thief took only what was necessary and left the rest behind.
So, what are these 0 files about, sir? I guess they've got something worth stealing in them, huh?
Not particularly, it's just a collection of court case files. However, the cases within these files are not mine.
Huh?
They belong to the High Prosecutor that used to occupy my current office. I have my reasons, but let's just say I was charged with keeping them as they were.
Then that means the thief must have also wanted the file for a specific reason, right?
It would seem so. Only the pages related to that case from 10 years ago are missing.
I wonder why anyone would care about such an old case.
Okay, well, I don't know why we haven't grabbed it, but alright. I was wondering if I may speak with you for a bit concerning this case. I've always been a big fan of the courtroom, but this is like a dream. A dream where I'm being cross-examined by the Miles Edgeworth. I can't let this chance pass me by. I must remember to ask her about the master key. I should jog her memory by showing my notes to her with tea. Okay, well, first off, the victim. Have you ever met the victim before? Well, I've seen him a couple of times before when I had to go to Mr. Portsman's office. Mr. Faith was always playing a basketball with Mr. Portsman, sir.
That sounds like fun. Just once, I'd have loved to play with him.
It sounds fun, but the only person ever taking a shot was Mr. Portsman. All Mr. Faith ever did was pass him the ball, sir.
On second thought, I don't think I'd have fit in all that well with him.
Miss Maggie Bird, correct? I take it that you are an acquaintance of the detective.
She was under my supervision back when she was still on the force, sir. One day she got caught up in a murder and things started going downhill, so she quit.
But I owe a lot to Detective Gumshoe for introducing me to my current employer. Or so I thought until a few hours ago. Right before I was about to clock out for the night. You got caught up in this whirlwind of a case, correct? Don't worry, my whole life has been nothing but a whirlwind of bad luck and failures. Since I was 6 months old, when I fell from the 9th floor of my apartment building, I've been hit by all sorts of vehicles, gotten sick from all sorts of foods, failed at almost every test I've Wait, what? I failed at almost every test I've taken, experienced almost every kind of disaster, and now I even managed to be named a criminal just when I've become a security guard. That's a lot to go through in one lifetime. I know! And just when I thought I had finally found my happiness, I wind up getting you and Detective Gumshoe involved in my bad luck. You don't need to worry about me, Miss Bird. Nor do you need to worry about yourself. I will solve this case and prove your innocence. All I ask in return is for your cooperation. Yes, sir, Mr. Edgeworth. You can count on me. I'll do all I can to help. Alright, cool. Now, let me present you... Let's see. What's about this? I'm just a lowly security guard, so I'm not sure what I should do with that other than to guard it. Just like I'm talking to another gumshoe. Okay, okay, let's talk about the master key. So when did you discover that the master key was missing? By the time I realized it, I think it was around 1 a.m., sir. And I noticed it was back at around 2:30 a.m. It was just sitting there on the ledge where the security room's reception window is. I'm sure that between those two times it was not just gone, but stolen, sir. Okay. Well, why is such an important key stored in such an insecure place? It's not like that, sir. We always keep the key further inside the room, away from the window. Always, you say? Except for this time, correct? Well, I admit that was a bit careless, but I had my reasons. I left it out because I was sort of using it at the time. It was after I used it it was after I had used it that I left it sitting out on the ledge. She used the master key. Okay. What did you mean by you used the master key? Oh, I had to use it to open the door for this prosecutor who had forgotten his key. Oh, fucking god. I mean, it's my job as a security guard, right? What is it? That's right. I just remembered. The prosecutor who forgot his key. It was Mr. Portsman, sir. What? Please tell me more, Miss Bird. Quickly. It was around 12 a.m. Mr. Portsman had forgotten his office key, so he came down to security, sir. And that's when you loaned the master key to him. No way! It's against regulations to loan the master key out to anyone. I walked with Mr. Portsman to his office and opened the door for him personally, sir. I see.
And then? What happened after that?
Well, he called for me to come close up his office as he was leaving to go home. That was around 1:30 a.m., I think.
So in summary, for the sake of one forgetful prosecutor, you used the master key twice tonight. Talk about suspicious.
I doubt if you can say that you've never left your keys at home, Detective. I think this calls for a thorough examination of Mr. Portsman's door. Okay. Yeah, let's check this door out. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. Okay. Room 1203. I take it that this is Mr. Portsman's office. Yeah, you can't mistake it, because of that basketball hoop, sir. Oh, that reminds me. Mr. Portsman had actually wanted room 1202 really badly. But since you were already occupying Mr. Edgeworth, we put him next door, sir. So why was Mr. Portsman so particular about getting room 1202? I'm not sure, but I bet it's because of something like his birthday is December 2nd?
Yep, that's gotta be it. Can't think of another reason why.
I can think of at least 3. Why am I even wasting time thinking about this? Minimalist yet classy door made up of top quality wood.
Kind of majestic too. Fits in really well with the ambience of the prosecutor's office. Even Mr. Portsman seems dignified, just because he works behind one of these.
Nonsense. A man doesn't become more or less dignified because of where he works.
Well, he still seems more dignified than Mr. Payne.
Mr. Payne, I suppose custodial work can also be dignified.
It's Mr. Portsman's personal basketball hoop.
I can't believe he put something like this in the hallway of a prosecutor's office.
Well, you know, it's actually pretty useful, sir. I haven't gotten lost trying to get to your office since it's been there.
How long have I had the same office and yet you still managed to get lost? The door's locked tight.
I bet the old credit card trick wouldn't work here, huh, Mr. Edgeworth?
This is the office of a high prosecutor, Detective. These doors would be pretty ineffective if the average cat burglar could get through them.
Aha! So I guess only a great cat burglar could get in. That must be who our culprit is.
Might I advise you to return that conclusion to whatever pawn shop you bought it from? Okay. Okay, so... Key was used to unlock and lock Portsman's office at 12 a.m. to 1:30. The key went missing from approximately 1 a.m. until... Okay, what if we...
Ah!
Miss Bird, I'm afraid there's a flaw in your story. What? No way, pal. I mean, sir. You said that you locked up Mr. Portsman's office at around 1:30 a.m., correct? However, the master key had already been stolen at that time. Wow, nothing gets by you, Mr. Edgeworth. You saw that contradiction like a pro, so you fucking lied to me. No, I mean, I had totally forgotten all about that, but thanks to you, I remember it now. You're right, it was around that very time that I realized the master key was missing. And... well, I'm a security guard, sir. I couldn't just admit to losing the master key, could I? So I pretended to lock up his room, sir. You pretended. Yeah, I used my house key and made it look like I was locking it up, sir. So, in actuality, you never did relock the door then? Well, I thought that maybe I could just lock it after I found the key. Come to think of it, I guess the door still hasn't been locked properly. Whoa. So wait, his door is still open? Wait a minute, so... There's a contradiction here between reality and the evidence. If what Miss Bird has said is true, then why is this door locked tight?
Oh, you know, you're right.
Miss Bird, are you sure you didn't relock this door? I am certain of it, sir. And I don't think Mr. Portsman noticed it himself that I hadn't.
Which means... What, sir?
It either means that he actually does have the key to his office, or that the door Miss Bird opened wasn't this one at all, but a completely different one.
She opened a different door. But how can you prove that?
There's an easy way to find out. All we need to do is... we need to examine these. On the number plates? The prints on the number plate. They will tell us all we need to know. Everything? Really? Like what, sir? Like... okay. No. No. Shit. Yes, reload. I take that back. I am the great great investigator. That was so dumb of me. Okay, so no, it's not the number plates, I'm dumb. It's gotta be the fingerprints, because if she did go about trying and to pretend to lock up the door, then we can find her fingerprints on the door that she actually touched. What we need to do is... prints on the doorknob. The prints on the doorknob will tell us everything.
Hey, you! Yeah, you, pal. Do us a favor and see what you can lift from this, okay? So, what did you find out? There's no need for such belligerent nostril flaring.
Wait, sorry. There's no need for such belligerent nostril flaring, detective. Sir, I have found only Mr. Portsman and Mr. Faith's prints on this doorknob. So only 2 people's prints were found on this, huh? That's pretty decisive.
Huh? Well, I'm lost, sir.
Thinking logically, a certain other person's print should be on this doorknob as well. Now then, whose print should also be on this doorknob? Well, should be Maggie's. Or Bird's. Don't you find it odd that the prints of the person who unlocked this door are absent?
You mean...
Yes, the door that Miss Bird opened could not have been this one, but a different one. What have we here? I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. Well, there we go. What is this?
Looks like a scrap of paper. I'll get it, sir. Let's see. Oh, there's something written on it.
It looks like a note from the victim. I brought the 3 pieces of evidence by, just like we talked about on the phone, but it looks like you're out. Guess I'll catch you up. Guess I'll catch up to you later, buddy.
Yeah, and it's for Mr. Portsman.
Is this basketball property of Mr. Portsman? Yes, sir. He's always ready for a match.
Basketball, soccer, dodgeball, tennis. Doesn't matter what sport it is, he's game. Well, I think it'd be a little hard to play tennis with this whole ball. No.
That isn't the point you should be focusing on, Detective.
You're right, sir. Now I know what I should be focusing on. Bad Mr. Portsman. Someone should teach him to clean his toys up after he's done playing.
I think we've reached the end of this conversation. What's this?
What are you looking at, sir? Oh, hey. How about a game?
That's okay, Detective. I just found the position of this hoop to be a little... off.
Hey, you're right, sir. I guess it shifted when someone made a seriously sweet slam dunk.
Positioning of the hoop is definitely unnatural. I better take note of this. Yep. Okay, this is basically all stuff we've already read. Okay. I won't trust until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. 1202. These 4 numbers on a number plate alone proclaim this to be my office.
Whoops. Hey, these number plates slide right out, sir.
They have to be able to take the plate off when a room becomes vacant, you know. Although, the idea that it can be so easily removed is kind of... yeah. I don't see any signs of forced entry. And according to the guard, no signs that the lock was picked either, sir. Oh, I'm reading it wrong. Meaning that the door really was opened with a key. Did you happen to ask if any prints were lifted from the doorknob?
Apparently the doorknob's clean as a whistle. Wiped, they think.
Whoever this thief is, they did a good job of not leaving any clues behind. Alright, there we go. Oh, thank God. Looking around this hallway is actually paid off quite handsomely.
Huh? How so, sir?
In a variety of different ways. I think it's time we had a little chat with the real culprit of this case. You know who the killer is? Wow, Mr. Edgeworth. As long as my logic is sound, then yes. The mastermind behind this murder is none other than Mr. Portsman. What? Mr. Portsman?
I knew it. That's exactly what my logic senses were telling me too. I suspect it was him from the instant he accused Maggie of being the killer, sir.
That is anything but logical. Ladies and gentlemen, prepare yourselves. Come what may, it's time to knock on truth's door. Mr. Portsman, I finished processing the bloody letter, sir. All right, let me take a gander at it. Pass it here. Okay, looking good. You there, take care of this.
Whoa!
Well, if it isn't Detective Gumshoe.
End of the line for you, Portsman. We've got you now.
Call off your dog, Mr. Edgeworth. Is this some kind of joke? It's no joke. We know, Mr. Jacques Portsman, that you are the guilty party in this case. You must be pretty upset getting chased out of your own room. I'd be mad too. So I guess you can stay, if you promise to stay out of our way. You intend to hide your crime under the guise of a prosecutor doing his job? I can see right through the unsightly paper-thin mask you wear upon your cowl. Who'd have ever thought it would come to this? Actually, come to think of it, your mentor was Manfred von Karma, right? The legendary prosecutor who never lost a single case for 40 long years. But there was always this incessant chatter about forged evidence with that guy. Really teaches me that I've got to stay on the lookout for false accusations, you know. Okay, can you stop that? And are you done trying to play mind games with me? Because they won't work. The only thing you should be using that mouth of yours for now is explaining yourself. Although that too will only dig your hole deeper. Either way, your game is up. Well, aren't we full of ourselves? Even though you haven't yet to prove anything. Oh yeah, we'll see about that. I have no idea what sort of harebrained idea you have in mind, but here's a mountain of evidence that points away from me being the culprit. Besides, how may I ask? Do you propose I unlocked your door and got in here? Look, I feel bad doing this to you, but I've got work to do, so we're done here. Yeah, no, fuck that. Sorry, but we're not finished yet. Boy, you're stubborn. I suppose you're basing your accusations on something. I'll show you what I'm basing my accusation on. With evidence. Alright, we're gonna press all these first.
Hold it!
My accusation is a harebrained idea, is it? You tell me. I'd say it is, after all.
Hold it!
Oh, and what, pray tell, kind of evidence are we talking about here? Jim was my partner, so you can't say I had a motive for killing him. And that's it. That's not even an anthill, let alone a mountain. But it's more than enough, wouldn't you agree? Might I recommend that you review what the word evidence means? It doesn't change the fact that the evidence doesn't point to me as the killer. Okay, here we go. Let's see here. Am I able to present this? No? Alright. I mean, technically... Well, I mean, okay. We're gonna go with this.
Objection!
Yeah, because you got in here through the fucking master key. I believe you were able to open my office door with the master key, no less.
Objection!
Wait. Hold on a sec. I never laid a finger on that key, as you already know. Precisely, you were able to open my door without lifting a single finger. Like chicken fingers. Yes. Well, maybe you did, but only to direct. That's right. You used your fingers to direct this person to open my door with the key. None other than Maggie Bird.
Take that!
You had asked Miss Bird to open your own office door for you, yes? Yeah, I kind of forgot my key at home. Happens a bit too often for my taste, you know. But the room you had Miss Bird open at that time was not your own, was it? What? You have quite the imagination. Why don't we ask the girl herself whose door she opened, shall we? I'm certain that it was Mr. Portsman's door, sir. I checked the number plate to make sure I was opening the right door, sir. See, Miss Bird backs up my story. Yet what if you had misled her to fool her into thinking what you wanted? Huh, and how do you suppose I did that? By switching the number plates on her doors, for example. That's right, they do slide out pretty easily. Furthermore, you then used one other thing to give a very strong impression. That the door she was opening was yours and not, in fact, mine. What was it that Mr. Portsman used? Yep. It was the fucking basketball thing. Take that!
Take that!
What? The basketball hoop, sir? It's quite a peculiar fixture in any hallway, let alone a hallway in this building. Which is why it left an unusual strong impression on you. It's an object perfectly suited to sit just outside the office of a peculiar prosecutor. No! That's very true, sir, because there was a basketball hoop sitting there. Yet no shit. I thought the door I was opening had to be Mr. Portsman. There are signs that the hoop has been removed. To sit in front of my office, to be sure. I see. So that's how you throw a suspicion on people. Thanks for the tip. But I think your conjecture is a little off the racetrack. Okay. Now you're just spouting nonsense. I had the girls open my office door. After that, I was in my room the entire time. You don't have a single reason to suspect me. Okay, so he intends to claim his innocence to the end, does he? I'm as pure and innocent as my jacket. And Miss Bird is as dirty and guilty as the jacket she wears. Ugh, I'm so hot. My jacket's not dirty, and I'll have you know, I just washed it yesterday. Ugh, it kind of smells. Please calm down, and I intend to show who is the one truly covered in slime. Okay. I was in my room the entire time. Yeah, no. I didn't even need to press you, dummy. That was a lie. What are you talking about? How was that a lie? This is a note that the victim left for you, Mr. Portsman. A note? It was left under your door. Or did you not notice? And right here it says, but you're out. You were not in your room when the victim came to call on you. So then where were you, and what were you doing? Ugh. Shall I explain it in full detail for you? You were busy snooping around in my room, the very room you had Miss Bird open for you. Now, fuck that, that's just nonsense. You have no evidence I made the girl open your door for me? Oh, but I do. And I have every... No, I can't. I'm having a brain aneurysm. I have very decisive evidence. No way! This is proof positive that you had Miss Bird open the door for you. This is proof that you had Miss Bird open the door for you? My brain. I mean, it has to be this, right?
Take that!
I had your door dusted for prints. My door? What for? Come on, I bet you didn't find anything. You sure are good at wasting time. You're right. I didn't find anything, and definitely not Miss Bird's fingerprints. Her prints? What do they have to do with anything? Let's put it this way. If she really was the one who opened your door, then her print should naturally be on the doorknob she touched. Further, all of the prints on my office door's knob have been wiped clean off. I can only assume it's because Miss Bird's fingerprints were on it. Don't you think it's time you gave up your charade? We know you stole into my office with the intent of stealing something from me. And Detective Faith found you out. Possibly because he heard sounds coming from a room whose occupant was on leave. Mr. Portsman, you killed Mr. Faith to silence him. And I had the misfortune to return when I did. You had to threaten me as you escaped. As I said when you had the gun to my back, no one gets away with committing murder in my office. The fuck are you... What?
And just what's so funny, pal?
Well, that look of stiff seriousness on the face of this office's finest prosecutor, as he makes a huge mistake in accusing me, is simply too much to bear. There's just nothing else like it in the world. What? Mr. Edgeworth just explained it all, and he even backed it up. You're the murderer! Stop trying to be slippery and just admit to the crime already. And as I said earlier, it's all so circumstantial, so full of conjecture. You say you checked my doorknob for prints. Well, I can readily confess that I had wiped that knob down well. Eh? I'm a little obsessive-compulsive, you see. I didn't want to touch a doorknob that you had touched. What the fuck, dude? That's... What an asshole. Okay. Which is why I wiped the knob down as soon as I could after you opened the door. After that, it makes perfect sense that only Jim's and my own prints would be on there.
You made that up just now, didn't you?
Furthermore, as for the note Jim left for me, do you know exactly when that was? For all we know, he could have left it there before I arrived at the office. Like early evening, for example. Are you saying you failed to notice a note in your doorway? Hey, even geniuses fail at times. I was probably too preoccupied by work-related matters. Although that's no excuse. Now that's just a flat-out lie. There's no way you didn't notice a note that size. Ah, but you can't prove that, can you? Say something, Mr. Edgeworth. Back me up here, sir. Portsman makes a good point. I can't prove that he didn't simply overlook it. Besides, I have an airtight alibi. Airtight, you say? I only just realized I had one as we were talking. I guess it would have been better for all of us if I had told you sooner. Okay, and who's this person? If memory serves, you came back to this office at around 2 a.m., correct? It was then that you had that unfortunate confrontation at gunpoint with the culprit. At exactly that time, I was down in criminal affairs. Ask around. I'm sure the other detectives will corroborate my story. It's the perfect alibi. Do you really think it's that perfect? Like I said, I don't care. Ask around all you like. You'll see for yourself. Detective Gumshoe?
Sir, yes, sir. I'll go check out his alibi, sir. Be right back. Miss Edgeworth, sir. I think we're in trouble. It's just like Mr. Portsman said. The guys down in criminal affairs said they saw him at around 2 a.m.
You see? All the evidence points to him being the culprit, so there must be a contradictory point in his alibi somewhere. Okay, well, hold on. You came back to this office around 2 a.m., correct? Okay. Alright, I guess we're gonna have to press him for now.
Hold it!
You are correct, it was around 2 a.m. Are you sure? It's really important to me that you're spot on with the time. I remember checking my watch then and make no mistake, it was 2. Oh, giving testimony like a pro. Okay, so you came back to your office at 2.
Hold it!
It is as you say, however. Yes, however, you are the only one who claims to have bumped into the culprit. So tell me, did you see the person's face? Was it me who you saw? It was pitch black, so I couldn't actually see.
Objection!
Oh, come now. I'm sure you saw something. Try a little harder, why don't you? I'm beginning to feel like I'm the one being interrogated here. Oh well, it doesn't matter if you remember or not. It only matters that you ran into the culprit.
Hold it!
So you paid the Criminal Affairs Department a visit. Yep, right after I left the prosecutor's building, I headed straight for the precinct.
Hold it!
We did go and ask around to confirm your testimony. And it was just as I said, right?
Yes, sir. A number of detectives said they saw you at around that time.
See, I have the perfect alibi. That's the ace I had up my sleeve.
Possible. He actually does have the perfect alibi.
What's wrong? Why the sudden sullen look on your face?
Could you say anything back, Mr. Edgeworth?
I think we've reached the end of the line, and it's time to get off this crazy train. You there.
Oh, sir.
Please escort the young lady out. Remember, be gentle.
Maggie!
Detective Gumshoe! Is there nothing I can do? Must be a way to turn this situation around. If I only had a clue. Did I miss something that can help me out? Help me cast doubt on his alibi? I need to calmly think this through one more time, and with logic. So the intruder I met could not have been Mr. Portsman, then who could have been? Maybe? Wait, okay, hold on, let's think about this. The intruder I met could not have been Portsman, then who could have been? I mean... I'm gonna go with the other gun. Aha! There were 2 bullets left at the scene of the crime. One that robs Mr. Faith of his life, and one that nearly robs me of my jacket. However, the murder weapon only shows signs of being fired once, meaning that it is entirely possible that a second gun was used in my office tonight. But seeing as how the killer had to steal Mr. Faith's gun, I doubt the killer had another gun up their sleeve. Therefore, the second gun could have been the property of an entirely different person, which could mean that there was another person who paid a visit to my office tonight. There we go. Skibbity toilet. No, Turtle, you fucking dingus. Supposing there was yet another visitor tonight, that would also resolve the issue of why my shelves were upended twice. We know that the shelves were disturbed once before and once after the murder, so it shouldn't be much of a stretch to think that it was the work of 2 different people. Once by the person who stole the victim's gun, and then killed him with it. God, I'm so fucking smart! And once again, after the murder by our second culprit, who was the owner of the second gun? If we suppose that the second culprit's gun was the one that was pointed at my back...
Objection!
Mr. Portsman, it seems that I need to amend my assumptions regarding this case. Great! So you finally come to your senses. Gambling addict, what are you talking about? Mr. Edgeworth.
Sir, what are you saying?
This has been a big misunderstanding on my part from the start. I had assumed that the person I ran into was the killer, but that may not be the case.
What do you mean?
The person I ran into was just your average thief.
Thief? But sir, doesn't that cause some sort of contradiction in the facts?
Not at all. It simply means the killer was someone else. And it means that in actuality, 2 culprits stole into my office tonight.
What do you mean 2?
You fucking... What the fuck do you mean? I mean 2. It explains both why my shelves were disturbed twice and how there were 2 guns. Mr. Portsman tricked Miss Bird and gained entry into my office. Now you're just leading the argument. You still don't have any actual proof, you know. Ah, but if you could please go along with my hypothetical scenario for now, Mr. Portsman. In the end, if you really are innocent, you should have nothing to worry about. Now then, returning to my scenario before this fucking dumbass was out to steal something from me. Which is why he checked on my secret safe and ransacked my shelves. This is the first time.
So then, this would be when the files were put back in the wrong orders, right?
Correct. And then just when he was about to look somewhere else. Who should walk in but his own partner, Mr. Faith?
But why did Mr. Faith come to your room, sir?
He probably had business with Mr. Portsman, which is why he was in the area. Well, that's when he knows sounds coming from my office, would be my guess. Oh, because you were supposed to be away, right?
And he must have thought it was odd, so he came into this office to check it out.
Correct. And as a detective, that was the right thing to do. But when he came in, he found his own partner standing there. Because it was Mr. Portsman. Mr. Faith probably let his guard down. But Mr. Portsman was not so merciful as to let him leave alive. He waited for a chance and stole Mr. Faith's gun from him, and then... he killed him. He silenced Mr. Faith for catching him in the act of stealing. This was the moment in which the first shot was fired, the one that landed in my files. Following that, Mr. Portsman wiped the gun down and left it behind as he made his exit. He could afford to do that because he had also left the fake dying message behind.
You're such a complicated troublemaker, you know that?
Well, if things were as simple as that, then all would be solved. However, there was yet another visitor to my room, and this is where it gets complicated. There was another?
Visitor, sir?
Yes, and this other person's objective was also to steal something from me. Now then, even after Mr. Portsman left, the door to my office remained unlocked. However, this new visitor had no way of knowing that, and so they stole the master key from the security guard's room, and then entered my room and searched through my shelves. This was the second time they were disturbed, and it seems the thief found their prize.
The stolen zero file, right, sir?
Correct. Only just as the thief was about to leave with the file, I appeared. The thief then threatened me with their own gun and made their escape. The second bullet was fired during that brief encounter.
So the show's getting messed up twice and the two bullets? It was all because two different people were doing those things at two different times?
Precisely. So now do you see, Mr. Portsman? The person I met was just a thief and was not, in fact, Mr. Faith's killer. Your alibi for the time frame in which I ran into the other person is now irrelevant, because we now know that the murder took place during the first culprit's visit.
What's so funny, pal?
Absolutely splendid. Your scenario explains everything.
Of course it does. It's Mr. Edgeworth, after all.
But you know, it still doesn't change the fact that it's all circumstantial. Supposing if, and that's a big if, your theory is right. It would indeed render my alibi, which has withstood scrutiny, mind you, relevant. Got him hot. But there is still one defining point of your argument, for which you have no evidence. Your supposition that I was the first visitor.
Mr. Edgeworth, you can't let him get away with that, sir.
But he has a point. I have absolutely no proof at this point. Don't say that, sir.
I don't believe this. Don't worry, Maggie. I'll do something if I must. I'll shoot him.
Whoa! Hey, you know something? I find your attitude to be somewhat peculiar, Miss Edgeworth, and you mind keeping your gumshoe down? If the person you met really was just a plain old thief, then why is that person not your main suspect? That is, if your theory is correct. Alright. Alright. The thief you ran into should be your real suspect, wouldn't you say? We should be out there looking for that thief right now. They might still be nearby. I hate to repeat myself, but as I've already said, I was training in my room. And when Jim came to deliver some evidence to me, I was down at criminal affairs. So I can't be expected to know what happened around here after I left. Okay. So you think we should be out there looking for the thief? Of course! Now isn't the time to be having these dead-end discussions. I don't think it's at all dead-ended. I find your alibi to be fascinating. Let's continue where we left off, shall we? I know he's lying. I know he's here at the scene of the crime. I just have to find a way to prove it. Alright, start pressing.
Hold it!
Actually, no, I wouldn't. Why not? That's elementary. A dying message, of course. Mr. Faith's killer very clearly left those letters on the spines of those files. And it was after they were on there that the thief stole one of them.
You mean the zero file was right?
And that's how we also know the letters themselves were set up and not from Mr. Faith. If the thief was the killer, do you think they would try to undermine themselves? Maybe the killer just didn't think of that either. Yeah, that must be it. Maybe, just maybe.
Hold it!
Once escaped, I highly doubt a thief would linger nearby. Well, you never know. Maybe they didn't get what they were really after. Oh, you talk like you know quite a bit about this thief. It's nothing like that. I have no idea about anything after all.
Hold it!
But according to Mr. Faith's note... Hold on, I thought we already cleared that up. Didn't we say that Jim left that note for me in the early evening? If you have proof that I left it at a different time, say, just before he was murdered. I don't have any, no. You see, so I insist again that I was in my office the entire time.
Hold it!
Why didn't you go there with Mr. Faith? Oh, that's because he said he was tired and was going to take a quick nap. You know, those sofas in the hallway. He likes to sleep on those. It's one of his habits. And what of the evidence he brought? There were things related to yesterday's case. Just 2 items. A gun and a pendant. Interesting. This piece of testimony seems to be too crucial to let slip through the cracks. Okay, what about those 2 items? A gun and a pendant. Yeah, this gun, which was the murder weapon. And this pendant, which belonged to the victim. And why were you taking them to criminal affairs? There is something in a past case file I wanted to compare these two. But all this has nothing to do with this case right now. Anyway, I believe you'll find the long paper trail I left to be to your satisfaction. This is all matching up with what Detective Gumshoe found out. Okay.
Hold it!
I can't expect you to know, can I? Nope, but I guess you can't expect me to take a guess based on logical deductions. Oh, then let's see you deduce. Jim waited for me to leave and then stole the master key. For the purpose of sneaking into your room, of course. And that's when Miss Bird caught him red-handed and the murder occurred. It's all exactly as I had laid out earlier. I know he's lying. I know he was here at the scene of the crime. I just have to find a way to prove it.
Hold it!
Oh, no, that's not what I want to do. No! A gun and a pendant that are related to yesterday's case. Oh wait, hold on. Wait. But he's saying there was 3 items. Why is there only 2?
Objection!
Yeah, hold on. Wait a minute. Your guy said 3, not 2. Only 2 pieces. I believe the proper phrase here is you fail. Excuse me? You fail as a prosecutor, Mr. Portsman, as you intend to keep evidence hidden from me. What are you talking about? I haven't hidden anything from you. Well, here's a piece I think you should read carefully. It says that Mr. Faith was bringing 3 pieces. Yes, and this is the victim's real dying message to you, Mr. Portsman. I can't believe... to get tripped up by my simple arithmetic. Where is the missing piece of evidence, you fucking mongoloid? It's... You have it, don't you? You absolute buffoon. You simple-minded peanut gallery buffoon. Only the guilty would make such a face. Detective Gumshoe?
You don't have to say it, sir. I'll pat the guy down from head to toe. All the way to his balls.
Ah, not my balls! Ah, wait, don't come any closer! I'm warning you!
This is all part of your investigation, pal. So don't even think about stopping me, or I'll karate chop you. In the balls.
No!
Hey, what's this? You had this on him, sir.
Despite what you said, it would appear that you do have something to hide.
Why would he hide something like that?
There's only one real reason why anyone would hide evidence of this caliber. because he would have unequivocally pointed to that person himself as the real killer. Let's examine this videotape in a little more detail, for the section of the tape that will drive the last nail into his coffin.
Oh, that's blood, isn't it?
Yes, and I believe this is what the good prosecutor was trying to hide from us. This blood is still fresh.
You mean this might be Detective Faith's blood?
No, you've got it all wrong. No amount of denial can save you. We have but to run a blood test to find the truth. You told us that you had received evidence from the victim earlier. Now you will tell us when and how did the victim's blood find its way onto this video. Yeah, it's totally suspicious. Get the fuck off me. Go, shoo. Fucking bed. What is it at the moment of his death? Did Detective Faith have this videotape on his personage when you killed him? You know very well there's no way to prove that. Not even if we were to examine this tape for fingerprints. If I had to take a guess, I'd say that the only ones on here would belong to the murderous you and Mr. Faith. No, impossible. I'm... What the fuck?
Whoa, did he just fucking eat his... What? Oh, I think he's dead.
Well, that was fucking disappointing.
Mr. Portsman's been placed under arrest for the murder of Detective Buddy Faith, sir.
Very good.
And the results we got back from the lab techs on the tape turned out to be the real solid, sir. Blood work came back and it was definitely Mr. Faith's blood on there. And as a bonus, we were also able to lift a few of Mr. Faith's fingerprints as well.
Thank you so much, Mr. Edgeworth. I still can't believe I got to see your cool deduction skills outside the courtroom. I'm impressed beyond words, sir. It was nothing. I just saw you got caught up in a murder in my office. Please accept my apologies.
Oh, it was nothing, really. Compared to what I've been through, I mean.
That's depressing.
I consider myself lucky that it was only a burglary and a murder this time. If it had been a holdup or a hostage situation, I had thrown my hands up in the air. I think I'm finally rising up from a goddess of misfortune to just an unlucky person.
Something tells me we should have hired a different person for security detail.
Yo, something said that Mr. Portsman really was one corrupt prosecutor.
And why would you say he was corrupt?
Well, I heard that there were a number of suspicious things related to his court cases. There's even rumors about some of the evidence he used is forged, sir.
Forged evidence.
And they say he even decided not to prosecute a few cases for some really vague reasons.
Oh, that guy was a complete disgrace to the entire profession.
We never did get around to asking what his reason was for breaking into my office.
Yeah, whenever we got near that topic, he just clammed up.
Although we can pretty certain that it was to steal something.
This is just between you and me, sir, but there's a rumor that some sort of huge organization is involved behind the scenes.
Oh, well. With Mr. Portsman not willing to divulge anything, it certainly lends credence to that rumor. It would seem that we haven't heard the last of this.
Huh? That Mr. Portsman isn't the bad guy?
I didn't say that, but rather there are still many more mysteries for us to solve. For example, we still haven't figured out the significance to this piece of evidence. Is it this one?
Take that!
Sir, I don't think there's any mystery left to that piece.
You might be right there.
I think you solved the case already, Mr. Edgeworth. The thing left that we still don't know about is maybe this.
Oh yes, the Zero Series file, the significance of which we have yet to fully comprehend. The person who stole this file, the other villain of the night.
Yeah, I wonder who it was.
And what happened to the stolen pages? I wonder, who in the world was it that held me up at gunpoint? Miss Edgeworth, sir. Yes? I came across this while I was processing your office earlier, sir. This card.
What is it, sir? Is that a bird or something on there?
It's not just any bird. It is the mark of the raven, a three-legged raven. Even you should know what this is, detective.
Oh, it's about that thing, isn't it? The Great Thief. Everyone's talking about.
Yes, it is the mark of the great thief, Yatagarasu. Under the mark of a legendary bird, the Yatagarasu is noble to the end, a modern Robin Hood. Labeled mysterious and phantom-like, the Yatagarasu appears and vanishes at will. Hold on while I try and put on my headphones with a charger because I can't hear much. There we go. We don't know much about this thief's ultimate goal. We do know the targets. The Yatagarasu likes to find and make public evidence of corrupt dealings of all sorts. The theft is always performed in silence and always with perfection. Once a target is chosen, no dramatic calling card or announcement is sent forth. Instead, the chosen corporation is infiltrated without even the target noticing. Some days later, the evidence that was found is sent out to the mass media, along with a single card. Well, it has been a while since the Yatagarasu's last appearance.
Hey, Mr. Edgeworth. Look, something's written on the back.
What? Let me see.
It's the location where the thief put the stolen files.
So the person who stole the contents of the file was the Yatagarasu. Yatagarasu. Organization. Quite a few words are popping up in this mystery. A murder in my office. The return of the great thief, Yatagarasu. Looking back, I can't say I didn't see these events coming. But they were heralded by the incidents that began to occur 2 days ago. And that's it. That's the end of episode 1. Only took 2 streams to finish it off. Alright. Episode 1 without using story mode. Yep, we're gonna overwrite this. Alright. We are going to end the stream right here. I just simply wanted to finish this episode. Overall, that was pretty good. So we did end up figuring out that yes, it was indeed Mr. Portsman. It was obvious from the get-go. But we still have yet to figure out who was the mysterious thief that stole our evidence from an old case. But yeah, other than that, if you enjoyed, sorry, I'm having a brain aneurysm being Miles Edgeworth. It does that to you. But yeah, if you enjoyed this and you haven't followed this channel before, go ahead and leave that follow. I will be posting this episode. I'll be posting every stream for this particular series on my YouTube channel. If you're wondering what the channel is called, it is basically just my name, General Crunchy. If you want to also subscribe there, that'd be great. And I hope overall, though, you enjoyed this stream. And I'm going to get going. So I'll catch you guys later. Until next time.